Good morning, teachers.
Good morning,
Good
ma'am.
morning,
Good
ma'am.
morning, ma'am.
How are you?
Good
Good
morning
Good
po.
morning, ma'am.
morning. Oops.
Morning po.
Okay, let's have our system check first. Can you hear me clearly? Can you give me the like react if you can hear me? Thank you. Okay, thank you, Ma'am Catherine. How about the others? Sir John, Ma'am Steph. Okay, how about the screen I'm sharing? Can you give me heart react if you can see the screen I'm sharing with today's agenda? And then there's emotion meter there. Thank you, teacher Serena, Ma'am Steph. Okay. Is my audio not that loud? Is it enough? Is the volume enough? Can you give me a like react? By the way, you can also minimize the volume, right, through your gadget. Thank you. Okay, let's pray. Who wants to lead? Ma'am Steph, is it okay if you lead the prayer for us? Thank you. You may unmute.
Ma'am, there's a bit of connection thing and also the audio here.
It's okay. We can hear you clearly. It's fine.
Okay.
Okay.
Um, let's bow our heads and feel the loving presence of the Lord. In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Um, thank you for giving us today, as well as waking us up healthy and thriving. Uh, Lord, we apologize for sins that we've done,
Mhm.
will do, and will do. Um, Please bless our classes today, not only this one, but also the rest of the day, as well as all the families and friends of my classmate, as well as myself. Thank you. In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen.
Jesus' name, amen. Thank you, Ma'am Steph, for the wonderful prayer. Yeah, we pray for everybody, right? Thank you, not only this class, but all the classes. By the way, if you encounter disconnection, right, or not unstable internet connection, I will be sending the link. I send the link now to the in the chat, the YouTube link for this live. So you'll know it's also recorded. But again, if once we have our activities like breakout session, please come back. Okay. So thank you again for the prayer, Ma'am Steph. Let's have our screenshot now. For the meantime, if it's possible, if your connection can do it, please turn on your videos. Thank you. Okay, we are 27 in the class. Earlier we were 28. Maybe someone got disconnected. Okay, one, two. You ready? How about the others? Turn on your videos. Okay. I'll count in 3 seconds. One, two, three, smile. Okay, next slide. We have two slides. One, two, three, smile. Okay, that will do. So you may save your internet connection by turning off your video. But if you can stay with me, that's better. Thank you. Wow, nice background, Sir Joshua. Where are we? In Japan? Are we in Japan right now? So, okay, I love the Northern Lights from Sir Jameson. Okay, let's have our human check. Again, just like what we always do, please type in the chat at least a word that how you feel today. Or if you were affected by the typhoon, would you like to share your experience? How did you cope with the situation? Are you done cleaning the house? Who among you live in Marikina City? Do we have Mariqueñas here? Can you give me a like or at? Or you may unmute to share or anywhere in the Philippines. Anyone? Okay, you may type in the chat. How are you feeling today? Anyone? Anyone who would like to share your week, at least during the academic break? How did you feel? Oh, feeling cold. Yeah. Merry Christmas, everyone. Yeah, we don't need electric fan or air conditioned unit, right, to function because we're feeling cold. That's right. Okay. Yeah, Merry Christmas also, Jelly. Excited because Christmas is approaching. Yeah. But this time I think it will be a different way of celebration, right? And maybe if you can manage, right, just to go out, but to be safe, you'll be celebrating at home. Feeling hungry, okay, Ma'am Kath, please have your breakfast. Okay, again, you are allowed to eat. That's why we don't have break time. So you may eat, you may go to the washroom. Sleepy po. Okay. We also pray and declare for energy and what enthusiasm for today. It's understandable. It's really early in the morning. I would like to acknowledge our early bird, Sir Jameson, the very first to be admitted. I mean, to wait, at least to wait. I think he's here in the waiting room at 7:25. Am I right? 7:25, that early. Feeling tired. Okay, Sir Joshua, are you working? Okay, maybe just what, mentally, physically exhausted. Yeah, okay. How about the others? I'm glad that, right, you also echo that you are excited about Christmas, right? I mean, amidst all the things that are happening around us, right? You still what look forward to it. Okay, so thank you so much for your responses. I hope we can but all be energetic today and be participative. Let's proceed to our agenda. You're going to relate to the community you are in. Later on, you'll discover, right, the stakeholders and who are these people. You will also know the benefits of having cordial relationships, right, between the school, its members, and the community that surrounds it. And you will demonstrate how to effectively forge relationships and links between school and community that will benefit both. Okay, so let's start with a recall. Okay, last time you had your group activity. I'm sorry to flash, Ma'am Shai. Later, I will still ask for permission if you can play your video. But can anyone give us a recall of what we had last time? I mean, given these two what models of teacher skills, anyone? Can you give me number, ma'am? Sir Joshua, can you give me number from 1 to 5? You may just raise a finger. 5. Okay, thank you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Sir John, Sir Marin, you may unmute. Can you give
Yes,
us a
ma'am.
recap?
Good
Yeah.
morning po.
Morning.
And so the last discussion we had is about the 21st century uh, qualities
Mm-hmm.
of an effective teacher.
Mm-hmm.
That's all, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, that's right. Okay, the 21st century teacher skill. So you mentioned here, time. Actually, I'm so proud of you because you're able to, right, to come up with two models, two distinguished or very distinct models for the 21st century teacher. So you have research skills, definitely. I like how, oops. Okay, am I heard? Am I being heard?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. So again, research skills. So just like what I said, I am glad that you are very positive in terms of looking into research because you will really do research, not only your thesis, but even in the future with your classes, like action researches. You also mentioned about multitasking skills, which are really what in demand today, given that we are in the new normal setup. Classroom management skills that can also be done inside the virtual classroom, right? Not only in the physical classroom that we manage just by being punctual here, admitting everybody, right? I mean, also having the human check, asking how's everybody doing. Time management is so important. I just like what I always tell, it's really vital for teachers to be punctual, right? It's through modeling, right? If you agree, right? Through modeling that our students also exemplify the skills that we would like them to show us, organization skills as well. And you mentioned media and information literacy skills, the same with student skills, right? And leadership skills, very important, and classroom management, just like what I said. So, Ma'am Shai, may I ask for your permission if we can play your video just to echo your output in terms of assessing yourself, right? In terms
Yes,
of, okay, thank you, Ma'am Shai. So, here's
okay lang.
Ma'am Shai. We're gonna play because you're asked to reflect on your skills. Do you think you have them? So, let's play.
Good day, everyone. My name is Shayamal Bernabe from the class of BSEDE, and
So 1D, for today I will be reflecting on my own skills. So I would say that on the list of the 21st century skills that we have discussed in the last meeting, I only possess some of the skills that were mentioned. Now, why would I say that I only possess some of the skills that were mentioned? It is because although I do have skills, I mean, everyone has skills. Although I do have the skills, I don't think I would say that I have mastered all of the skills that I have. For example, in communication skills, I would say that I have communication skills, but I wouldn't say that my communication skills are effective because I do have problems connecting with people socially. But I think that anyone and everyone can develop that certain skill and all of the other skills that were listed. When it comes to information media and technology skills, I would say that I do possess these skills considering I would say that I do possess these skills because I am from a generation wherein we use technology a lot and information is easy to pass on to other people. For the life and career skills, I would not say that I possess the most of the skills that are listed, mainly because I don't really have any experience, and I think most, if not all, of my classmates are in the same position as I am. So, yes, with that, hopefully one day I would be able to possess all of the skills, all of the 21st century skills that are needed to become an effective teacher so that I would be able to inspire students and such. Yan lang.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Shy for sharing that. May I ask someone from the class to give their feedback about Ma'am Shy's reflection? Okay, I will count again from 1 to 5. Give me numbers, Sir Jameson. 1 to 5.
3, ma'am.
3. Thank you. Okay, let me count. 1, 2, 3. Is this Serena? Ma'am Serena? Yeah, any feedback about Ma'am Shai's reflection?
Good morning, ma'am.
Mm,
First of all po, I want to commend Shaya for a very lively, um, ano po, ang lively po nung kanyang, entrada. Actually, I'm not expecting po nung kasi, medyo tahimik-tahimikin po siyang po, kaibigan po. So, na-surprise po talaga ako. And, when it comes po dun sa mga, sa assessment niya po sa kanyang, skills, I could say po na po, halos pare-parehas po kami. I mean, kung iko-compare ko po kasi nga po wala pa po kami masyadong experience kaya I understand din po yung sasabi niya po na nahihirapan po siya makipag-communicate sa po, sa ibang tao po minsan kasi nga po, may po siya minsan, introvert, gano'n po. And
okay.
all in all po, I will give her
Wow, great. Okay. Okay, what's the grade of ma'am? That's great, right? We have verbal feedback and numerical feedback. I'm Serena, you unmuted.
yes, ma'am. I will give her 10 out of 10.
Oh, okay, thank you. Thank you, Ma'am Serena, and congratulations, Ma'am Shai, for that perfect 10 score. So, as you notice, I also would like to commend and thank you for giving me that background for Ma'am Shai that she's shy from from her name, but she's very energetic on the video. At the same time, she's very honest, just like what most of you what exemplified in your reflection videos. You're honest, you're also humble, right? In terms of admitting that not all the skills have mastered by you, right? And there are so many skills that you need to improve and focus on, right? In terms of your preparation and becoming a teacher. So again, congratulations to all of you. Now let's play a game. Are you familiar with the game What the Zoom Can you give me like or act? Or wow or act if this is your first time, or maybe you've played this before, or you've watched a game about this, zooming in the picture, and then you have, okay, thank you, Mamika, and right, guessing what's in the picture. Okay, so what we're going to do in 10 seconds, you're going to guess, right, or type in the chat what you see in the zoomed in picture. Are you ready? Can you give me wow or act if you're ready, teachers? Okay, great. As fast as you can, okay? Let me open first the chat so I can read your answers. Okay, what the zoom? Let's start with the first picture. Type in the chat as fast as you can. 10, oh, pavement. 9, 8, tiles. 7, bridge. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. Okay, another guess. Maybe I can spare you more seconds for that. Okay, you have to zoom it. I mean, in your imagination, right? You have to zoom it out so you can see the big picture. So you have their bridge. What do you think is the bigger picture of this bridge? Correct. Thank you, Mamika. Right. We have park. Wow. Okay. You're great. Okay. Thank you, Mamika. Also, Sir Abner. Got that? Okay. Next picture. Ready? Go. 10, 9, 8. Okay, that was fast. That's fast. Okay, I think the first one who got it. Okay, let me scroll back. It's Mamika again. Okay, the first one. It's a museum. Correct. Sir Abner, Sir John got it. Oh, you're fast. Okay, congratulations to those who are able to guess it. How about the next picture? Okay. 10, 9, 8, 7. Okay, we got that from Sir Jameson. You're right, it's a library. Okay, very good, teachers. Next picture. 2 words. Okay, 2 words. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. Wow, okay, Sir Joshua got it. Art gallery. Great, great. Okay. Next picture we have this. It is somewhat dark. Can you guess what it is? 10, 9, a forest painting. Okay. A cemetery. Okay. Safari. Okay. You may also like zoom it in if, I mean, if you like to see how authentic or how synthetic it is. So that's a clue. Field. Okay, Talahiban map. Okay, from Jelly. Another farm. Okay. Any guess? Maybe you've been there once or twice in your life during high school when you need to watch something. Okay, that's another clue. Plants, grass. Another. A cinema, a planetarium. Another guess. Hmm. Okay, I think I'll take that. Okay, we have theater. Correct. Theater. Okay, next. Okay, this picture. Cinema. Okay, I'll take that. Correct. Okay, it's a cinema or movie house or movie theater. Next picture. What is this? Correct, Sir John. Wow, that's fast. Okay, it's a factory. How about this one? Maybe you've been here. Also, you've been there in that place. Track field, oval field. Okay, maybe I can take, or maybe, okay, gym, field, stadium. Okay. Okay. Maybe what else? Gym. Okay. Maybe I can take oval since you're all familiar with that. A track field. Okay. Thank you. So a sports center or sports hall. Correct, Sir John. Okay. So okay, that will be all. So we have sports center, factory, library, movie house, theater, right? So anyone who could analyze or no, I mean synthesize all the pictures. So what do you think will be our discussion all about? Or upon just what looking at the pictures. What are those pictures? Anyone who'd like to share his or her insights? Sir Jameson? Okay, we have answer in the chat from Sir JC. It's these are public places, correct, right? Places that have many people, ma'am. Okay, correct. Okay, what else? How about Sir Jameson? Any guess?
Um,
Yes.
I really don't have a clue, ma'am, but I'm just gonna say places of entertainment or
Hmm?
that. I,
Okay.
I'm not sure, ma'am.
Okay, great, great. That's a great what analysis. So you have places of entertainment. Okay, learning. Correct. Yeah. Places found in a community. Very good, Ma'am Jasmine. That's great. Okay, let me ask you. Okay, so before we proceed, right, I would like you to discuss this proverb. It takes a village to raise a child. Anyone who'd like to expound on this? Do you agree on this? Would you take it literally or connotatively? Anyone? How about Ma'am Jabel? Can you share your insights here? You may unmute. It takes a village to raise a child. Sorry, you may unmute again.
Good morning, ma'am. Um, based based on my opinion or perspective, um, it needs to be able to raise a child, you need to have a better environment where a child or a children can enjoy, can learn, and to make activities that can nurture their potentials um, and to help them gain new experiences.
Okay, wow, that's a comprehensive what analysis on this proverb, right? I like when you said better environment, right? So every child deserves a conducive environment for learning, enjoyment, right? That you are right also, right? That the community, the members of the community should be part of the learning process. Thank you, ma'am. Another from our male teachers. Sir JC, are you there?
Hello, ma'am.
Hello.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning.
Um, in my perspective, the statement implies that not everything is taught in school or at home.
Mm-hmm.
For example, we are not taught in school or at home how to practice, how to live by ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
We learn by interacting with the community, not just by reading books. We learn by experience. And through that experience, we develop ourselves into a better person.
Okay, yeah, I like your stance here. Correct, right? So it's not only in the school, right, that you learn, but also when you go out and be part or get involved in your community, in your barangay, for instance. Or are we that what a member of this generation who only stays at home, or are we the ones who really take part of, for example, last right for the last 2 weeks or 3 weeks have we been part of the relief operations? Have you take part, or at least have you been what a beneficiary, right, of these projects? So thank you, Sir JC. So we'll talk about the teachers, parents, and the community. Okay, so school, right, and society definitely are the places where we become productive, right? And these are definitely the strong factors that can create a stable environment, definitely learning environment for shared benefits and change. So we are living in an ecosystem where we also benefit, right? And not only the people who give, right, benefits to people, And these people actually forge a kind of relationship where both are able to exchange knowledge as well as obligations, right, in the best interest of our students or our children. And parents also, right, for instance here from the community are ready to offer, right, much needed assistance in terms of resources, while us teachers are equally committed to spend time, effort, even money, right, from our own pockets and expertise in serving the school children and our students. So first, let's have our parents. So parents are the first teachers in the home, right? That's why you say that teachers are the second parents in school, but parents or guardians. So for you who have guardians only, right, they are the first teachers in our homes. And they are responsible for the development of our values, right? From the very beginning that we speak, they teach us how to respect the elders by saying in our culture, we say po and opo, right? Or again, kayo, right? Instead of just by addressing a person who's elder than you, even though that person is only one. So you say, kumain na po kayo, right? Just to show respect. Okay, our attitudes and habits that will be needed as our children associate with classmates in school. And you will notice that parents serve the first models, right? So if the children see their parents doing this, saying these things, definitely or most probably they will also apply that outside, definitely in the school. And such inculcations are beneficial when they work and play with their neighbors and the community at large. Are you the ones who, during your childhood days, were you the ones who usually play outside? Were you tagged as what, a batang kalye, or just to because you love playing outside? What are your favorite childhood games before? Anyone who'd like to share? Have you played? I played text. You know the cute cards, the small cards. I played text. I even tagged myself. Okay, once a Chinese garter, correct. Langit lupa. Pogs. Okay, I played Pogs too. Okay. Pawai. Can you, Sir John? What is that? I don't. Agawan base. I played that. What is that pawai?
Yan po yung ano, yung, ah, ano ba 'to, yung titirahin ng tsinelas yung tsinelas para mapunta yung, kumbaga yung goal po nung laro, mapunta yung tsinelas na taya mo doon sa line.
Okay, yeah, I
Yun
think I've
po.
seen that. Right. So instead of what hitting a can, you're hitting another slipper. Is that it?
Yes po.
I think. Okay, yeah. Thank you. We also have, yeah, agawan base piko, tumbang preso, Chinese garter, loksong tinik at baka. I think I played all those, right? And I can say that you have great childhood. Paper dolls, Barbie dolls. Okay, what else? 21. What is 21? Can you share with us, Sir Joed? I, I can't remember playing 21. What is that? You may unmute.
It's just like a new version of tag where instead of there's only one it, the moment that the hunter catches someone, it will join the hunter's side. So
Mm, okay.
they will both hunt the other ones.
Okay, okay. So thank you. Yeah, I think that is somehow not really the same with Agawan base because in that in Agawan base you just you stay with the group, right? In that case you take a member from a different from your opponent. Okay. Bangsak, okay. Ligtasan, hide and seek. Patintero, okay. I remember calling Patintero and Teran because the first level, right, is the place where you need to enter. So we call it Enteran instead of Patintero. Dodgeball. Okay, so in those, right, childhood games, you're really what I think you can also reminisce how your parents treat you. Do they allow you go out or you just go out because you like to play with friends even without the permission from your parents? So can you share a moment where your parents got involved in your school activity? So aside from sometimes allowing you to play those childhood games outside the house, but how about being involved in your school activity? Do you remember the first time your parent came to your school or got involved in a family day? Anyone who can share? You may unmute. Hmm. Have you had that experience? Maybe it's also memorable that you've. Okay, while you're thinking or recalling of your experience, allow me to share mine. I remember when I had a homework. There's a homework about creation, and I think I just had a misunderstanding of the instructions. And I was so, because I was a kid who always what follows and who always gives what I can do, right, for the homework. And then it's about creation. Okay, so I thought it's simply about writing the actual creation of human. So I went to art. There's a clinic at home, and there were big posters where stories are written at the back. I mean, those posters belong to my tito, my uncle, who's a pastor, and I remember copying the entire. And I think it's a really big poster. It's a really big poster with, I think, like font 12 of text, and then I copied everything, and it was, well, I mean, I created like lots of pages. And then upon submitting the homework, I got line of seven. It's 79. And that was the first time I got line of seventh grade. And for me, I asked myself, I gave my best. I know I gave my best, but it's not that why is my best not good enough, but it's about what did I do wrong, right? I mean, I thought I followed it. It's about creation. And then I made everything comprehensive. I exerted effort to write the entire text, which was very long. And then upon receiving the grade, I asked myself, right, what's wrong with my homework? And then I remember my mom. My mom went to my teacher's house. Okay, and then asked, like, bakit po line of 7 or 79 sa homework? Imagine that's only homework, and I was very grade conscious that time. It was just homework. But I really would like to know, like, right? What's my mistake? Why did I get 79? And then my teacher told my mom because I wasn't able to follow instructions because the instruction was to write our own story of creation. So either you came from a cockroach, from a computer, it's your story of creation. And I think I missed that part. I missed that part that it's about my invention of our story of creation. So now I understand that really it's important to follow instructions. So that's where my mom got involved in the school, not really school activity, but to communicate with my teacher. And at least I know, right? At least everything was clarified. And I was given what enlightenment that, hey, I didn't follow instructions, and the next time I need to really be attentive, right, and listening to my teacher. How about you? What's your unforgettable experience where your mom went to your school, or maybe you were reported to the principal's office or were called, right, in the principal's office or guidance office? Anyone would like to share? May I call Angel? Please, you may unmute. Okay, how about Ma'am Jelly? Okay, Ma'am Jelly, type in the chat yung na-guidance ako, ma'am. Okay, Ma'am Jelly, you may unmute and share your experience.
Eh, na-guidance po ako, ma'am. Kasi po di po ako nagpapapasok.
Mm.
Medyo tamad po kasi ako mag-aral nung elementary. Ayun po, nag-guidance ako. Tinatawag yung magulang ko, ba't daw po laging absent.
Mhm.
Lagi po akong nagdadahilan na may sakit ako kahit wala po.
Okay. How about your parent? How did your mom communicate with your teacher or the guidance counselor? Ma'am Jelly, are you still there? Okay, so I think that's a normal scenario, right? When I mean that's a normal attitude or behavior when we were in elementary, right? So you notice. I think I also have those days I didn't want to go to school. I think that's normal. Especially, I mean, there are many factors that might affect that. Not only that you're afraid, or it's not only the reason that you're lazy to go to school, but sometimes there are teacher fact, right? We consider teacher factor, classmates factor. For instance, you're being bullied or you have been bullied at school, right? That can be a reason for you to be an absentee most of the time. Okay, so how about when your parents spoke or reached out to your teacher? I just okay. It's okay, Ma'am Jelly. Okay, so there's Ma'am Angel. Okay, she said, I'm sorry, ma'am. Even though I'm like this, I don't experience going to principal office or guidance. Can we hear your side about when what do you mean when you said even though you're like that? What do you mean you're like that? Ma'am Angel?
Good morning, ma'am.
Morning.
Even though I'm naughty kid and what you call it, so why I don't experience that, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you
So
for
sorry.
yeah, thank you. Okay, there's also one from Sir Jameson. That time I got 73 on my final grade in the subject creative writing. Okay. So your parents spoke to your Sir Jameson? You may unmute.
It was actually a funny story, ma'am.
Hmm.
Can you hear me? It's because during that time we were approaching our final examinations, and I actually lost my reviewer, which actually contained all the lessons or review or all the topics that we discussed, and I lost it. And growing up, I was actually very timid and shy. So during that time, I hesitated to ask my classmates and just studied the book and just assumed that, oh, this topics would be the one would be discussed. However, the reviewer that was given to us by our teacher was also actually the answer sheet
Mm,
to the questions in the examination. So it made the exam very easy. So I'm the only one who failed during that time. So yeah,
mm,
my parents got involved, and I
okay.
was called to the principal's office. And conveniently, the principal is also my creative writing teacher. So yeah,
So you were spared from that? I mean,
yes, ma'am.
okay, thank you. So imagine, right? Our parents are really participative in terms of that. They're really concerned about our status, right? So uh, that only reminded me again of my student who confessed that she's being pressured by her parents. So I hope that parents would also balance, right, their expectations in terms of our grades, right, or what class standing, because they really need to know our abilities and what we can. Right. So thank you for that. Another stakeholder, we have teachers in the schools that or who continue to enrich, right, students' experiences at home and thus strengthening the valuable personal traits and characteristics that are initially developed. And in the end, right, the contrived attention and efforts of both custodians are accorded acknowledgement and recognition by members of the community. So I am glad that many parents also still right appreciate the efforts coming from the teachers, especially the students are very empathetic during this trying time that you always consider. I remember I posted a story, right? And it's a comment, it's a private comment from the email. I don't know, I forgot which class. I got a comment, but it's from my student. And then she's so very empathetic that instead of simply raising her concern, she said that, ma'am, I hope you're feeling safe and I hope you are emotionally stable, right, given our situation. So I am also glad, and just like what you've read, right, I sent you a message in a GC during the typhoon. And I thank the Lord for His grace because He spared our house. I live in Marikina City. We live in Marikina City, but our subdivision was spared from it. We are not affected. Literally, we're not affected. I mean, around us, around our subdivision, we there were floods, but in our subdivision, we didn't experience flood. So that way, at the same time, what do you think will happen if there are no teachers? Can you imagine a world without them or without you in the future, Ma'am Mika? You may unmute.
Good morning po.
Good morning. What do you think will happen if there are no teachers?
Well, I think for a long time we've said that the teachers are the backbone of our society. So I think it will be hard that we won't have professionals to teach the lessons that we need to know because really they shape the society for towards a greater future po.
Okay, correct. I mean, can you imagine a world without teachers, Mamika?
It is hard po talaga to imagine that because uh, right now they are the reason for our being po.
Wow. Okay. Thank you. That's big word. Thank you, Mamika.
Opo.
So teachers are the reasons for our being. So maybe, right? Many. I mean, I'm surprised when you said that. So I mean, just like what you said, they are the backbones of the society. And thank you for recognizing you will also be that backbone. You will also be that reason for students' motivation, right? To continue living, not only to continue studying, but literally to leave. So thank you for that. Another stakeholders definitely are the members of the community, right? That include the LGU or local government units. The non-government agencies are also part, civic organizations, and all the residents. And they are highly motivated to participate in the school activities and projects that will likewise down to the uplifting of the moral and quality of life in their locality or own locality. PUP, there is even what a designated office for community extension, right? So we conduct community extension projects, outreach program where we got involved, and even the local officials, the barangay officials got involved. You know what? Even in terms of designing the vision, mission, and objectives or goals of a school or institution, they are also part. We need to have this dialogue that that they are part or members, and they should be present during the dialogue because in exchange, it's not only that they are benefiting from us or vice versa, but they are a really big part, right, for the learning to continue. At the same time, it's really important that we got engaged, right? Or we are engaged in different what activities. Okay, so for instance, have you been part of, or can you share a community extension project or outreach program that you got involved in? Or maybe you initiated that project, or maybe you're part of the Sangguniang Kabataan, right? You're SK, chairman, or kagawad, or simply a volunteer. Anyone who'd like to share, you may unmute. Yes. How someone is unmuted? Okay, may I call Ma'am Ruth? Or you may also type in the chat so I can acknowledge. Ma'am Jelly said, many of us are uneducated if we don't have teachers. Thank you, Ma'am Jelly. Yeah, that's correct. Yeah, I mean, right, undoubtedly, parents are also considered teachers. But in terms of, talking about professional teachers, right, mastering a certain field of specialization, it's a different story, and that we really need, experts to teach us something that we don't know about. Okay. Would like to share? Okay, there's one. So from Jasmine, ma'am, me and my friends recently had a donation drive for the victims of the Typhoon Ulysses. Wow, thank you so much, and we appreciate your initiative. Right? I mean, it's really, I think it comes naturally, right? Not only from Filipinos, but people in general, right? The generous hearts, the giving hearts, or the giving attitude. So congratulations. I am certain, right? Your beneficiaries feel so grateful about your drive. Another from Ma'am Serena. Hi ma'am, nag-conduct po kami dati ng outreach program. Would you like to elaborate that, Ma'am Serena? What kind of
Hello po.
outreach?
Good
Hello.
morning po.
Morning.
Yung outreach program po namin na kinandak po dati is para po sa mga bata po.
Mhm.
Mga age ah 4 to 6 po ganon. Sa mga lib liblib na lugar. I mean, yung medyo malayo po siya sa kabayanan po. So, yung experience po, nahirapan po kami sa pagkalap po ng ano po, ng pondo po kasi we have to, um, ah, pumunta po sa iba't ibang mga lumapit po sa iba't ibang mga tao po and then sa iba't iba po din po mga orgs and also sa mayors po, ganyan. And para humingi po ng tulong and then ano po, nung nag-ano na po kami, nag-conduct din po kami ng donation drive po para pandagdag po dun sa ano po, sa pondo. And then nung nagpunta na po kami dun sa lugar po where we conducted yung ano po, outreach program, nagpalaro po kami sa mga bata and then nagpakain po, gano'n. Actually meron po kaming video po nun sa Facebook po. Masaya po siya because ano po kasi nakikita mo po yung mga bata po na nag-e-enjoy tapos, siyempre kami po bihira lang po kaming makalabas po ng school tapos bihira lang po kami makapunta sa mga lugar na, malalayo. Tapos yung as in kabundukan po talaga siya. Yung, yung sasakyan po sa kanila siguro po mga, twice or once a week lang po nakakabiyahe yung mga sasakyan. And then yung mga magulang po makikita mo po sa kanila na although kahit nasa gano'n po silang klaseng lugar, hindi naman po masasabi na, uncivilized po sila gano'n. Although yung pamumuhay po is, very simple and kokonti lang po talaga yung may kaya.
Mhm. Wow. May I ask, ma'am, if that's only your initiative or are you part of an organization?
SSG po, parang pinaka-ano po namin, program po gano'n. At
Okay.
saka yung ano din po namin, parang project din po siya. Actually ano po, 3 barangay po yung pinaggandakan po namin. Bale 3 group po kami na nagpunta po sa iba't ibang lugar po
Okay,
para
so that's a
ano,
barangay project. Is that it?
dun po sa iba po naming kaklase. Pero sa'min po na member po ng SSG po, program po namin yun parang,
Your initiative, right?
opo.
Wow, congratulations and thank you for
Thank
your
you
heart
po.
to serve the young kids, right?
Mhm.
Especially from far places. Thank you, Ma'am Serena. Another we have in the chat. Okay, from Jolly Planting Trees, tsaka po nagawa po ng banderitas tuwing fiesta. Okay, that's nice. Being part of the community in terms of celebrating Christmas and of course taking care of Mother Earth by planting trees. From Ma'am Ruth, since my mom is very active in our barangay, I volunteer in our barangay during packing of goods and distributing the ayuda. Okay, thank you, ma'am, for getting involved in the relief operation. Another from Jasmine, I'm also part of a foundation where we do service day annually every May and December. Ma'am Jasmine, uh, can you unmute and elaborate on the service day? I mean, what exactly do you do for service day?
Hello po, ma'am.
Oh,
Yes po, I am part of the foundation since I was grade 7. It's also a scholarship po. They
mm,
help us financially. Then, we do give back to the community as a help too. Since grade 7 po, every May and December, we go to different places here in San Jose del Monte, in our place po. Para kasing barangay-barangay po yung tinutulungan namin.
mm-hmm,
Tas, it actually, it varies time to time po. We experience tree planting,
yes,
brigada eskwela sa school.
mm-hmm,
In last December po, we gave um, food packs to senior citizens.
Alert
And
from System UI server. Low battery.
okay, continue.
And that year din po, nung May po, nagkaroon naman kami ng parang costume parade po. Nag-costume po kami ng iba't ibang Disney princesses, tas
Nice.
iba't iba pong characters, tas nag-parade po kami sa isang lugar, tas sa isang school po, nagbigay po kami ng school supplies sa mga estudyante. sa elementary students po.
Wow, I like how, right, how you can really sustain and actually, I mean, conduct different drives, different also what beneficiaries, right, during May. Until now you are part of that? You're still a
Yes po,
mm.
yes po, but kasi po, dahil po sa COVID, hindi po kami nagkaroon ngayon ng service day.
Okay, or maybe you can do it what, virtually, or do you have virtual activities?
This year po ma'am, wala po talaga. Ang recent lang po na ginawa namin, yung kami po na SHS friends ko po, nagsikuin kami ng help from the people of the Philippines.
Wow.
Tapos, yun po, nag-pack po kami para po sa mga victims ng
Wow. See, that's part. Okay, thank you. Thank you for that. Thank you for your effort, help, right, and concern to the Filipino people. Thank you, ma'am, for sharing. Okay, see, you're even active in your community. Ma'am Jelly also said, dito po sa amin bawal magpaputok tuwing New Year. Kaya nagaambagan na lang lahat ng tao dito sa barangay namin na mag-rent ng speakers. Disco na lang po imbis na magpaputok. Wow! I like that. I like also the unity and consideration, right, of the members of your barangay, right, to be safe, right, not only for the sake of their family, but for the sake of the entire community. Thank you, Ma'am Jelly, for sharing. Again, thank you for your stories as well. Okay, and despite our conscious effort as teachers, children still experience difficulties, right? I mean, you can't deny the fact that we teachers are endowed with a caring and compassionate attitude that are expressed in our love and unending sacrifice in guiding the young generation. But still, right, we can't avoid these difficulties in the classroom that are very observable, right, among our students. So first, we have the students what difficulty in terms of their ability to accomplish assignments, right? So how about your experience with this one? I mean, even if you're still a student, right? I mean, many students still encounter problems in terms of accomplishing assignments. So, and what do we do? I mean, who among the stakeholders can help you overcome that? Anyone? You may type in the chat as well. Okay, so who among the stakeholders can help you overcome your inability to accomplish assignments? Okay, I'll wait. Or you may unmute for your answer. Right? So, I mean, given our virtual environment or on synchronous and asynchronous class, right? You notice that teachers help you, right? With that, teachers help you to accomplish as correct, Ma'am Sorhina. Right? So teachers help you accomplish assignments by clarifying things. Everything needs to be clarified. And thank you for not being shy, not being intimidated, right? Because I am very willing to answer the question. So it's also effective that I even sync the or turn on the notifications in my Gmail, right, through the Google Classroom so I can read immediately your private comments. So thank you for that. Thank you for clarifying everything. Students and teachers din po. Thank you. Right? So at the same time, I mean, given our situation now, you can also consider parents, right? Parents helping the the students accomplish assignments. I hope not the parents accomplishing the assignments, but only helping their children accomplish them. Okay? So thank you. Another difficulty is irregular attendance, right? So it's inevitable, right, in our situation, and definitely teachers need to be very understanding in terms of this, given that attendance is not required, right, it's not mandatory, but thank you still for coming. Thank you for your thirst or quench to learn. So who among the stakeholders can help you overcome the irregularity of attendance? Okay, there's one sharing here from Ma'am Jelly. Honestly, Ma'am, hirap po ako ngayon. Di ako makakope up sa online class, pero I will do my best. Thank you, Ma'am Jelly. Are you part of online team, Ma'am Jelly? I mean, again, you are not required, even if you are part of the online team. I mean, this is simply supplementary to everybody. Ma'am
Yes,
Jelly?
ma'am. Yes po, ma'am.
Ah, okay, thank you. Thank you for still trying. Okay, thank you for doing your best. I appreciate that. So, Again, if it's really hard, I will try to understand, especially your reasons. When I receive many comments about having problems in terms of turning an assessment in, and they thought they already submitted it, but it it wasn't what submitted successfully. And then you said, ma'am, can you consider this? Of course, right? I need to understand the whole situation, especially now. This is not, I remember seeing that post, right? Or typography, this is not a normal year, this is not a normal academic year. So we need to forgive ourselves in terms of what sometimes feeling incompetent or inefficient. It's normal. Okay, so Ma'am Karen said teachers and parents, correct, right? So in terms of this, I think I've shared you this like during our first or second meeting when I shared to you about a student whom I at least just I sincerely spoke to because he can you give me like or act if I already share that story of a student from uh, a PUP campus, and he's a math major. I think I've mentioned that, and he's a math major, and then he stopped attending class because he's working in construction with his father. Have I shared with you that story? Okay, thank you, Sir Jameson. So yeah, that one. So in that way, my way is you sincerely speak to the student, and you have to really believe in that student's what ability, right? Why? Because your encouragement can really make a big difference, and that can really give the students what I mean, just by simply saying, okay, I will have reward for the early bird. I think I've done that with my elementary ed students I think last semester, because we need to change our schedule to morning even though their schedule is N, so meaning night. And yeah, I encourage everyone because there are teachers, and during the first week or 2 weeks of classes, they were latecomers, many latecomers. But then when I gave that, I motivate them, right? You tell them teachers need to be very punctual, right? That's why I also model being punctual, because if not, right? Why will I expect my students to be punctual if I'm not? So in that case, at least, right? Middle and latter part of the semester, they're able to come to class early. And they were even what consistent early birds. I also give house rule in terms of that. Okay, I mean in the physical or face to face setup, what I do or what I give my students is the what do you call this? The valid and invalid reason. Have you heard about it? That's my house rule for many years now. So for a student, I mean, I tell my students that I accommodate latecomers because I believe that even with the last 10 or 5 minutes of the class, you can still learn something. Maybe not from me, but maybe from your classmates. So I still accommodate latecomers. However, I give this rule that student needs to give me valid and invalid reason. So valid reason is you may also apply this in the future if you like. Okay, so it also develops or improves the communication skills and creativity of the students. Valid reason is the truth. You just have to tell me the truth, the reason you're late. So if there's an accident that you came across, or you're waiting for your allowance because your parents are still out, so just tell me the real reason. And the invalid reason is that the student needs to come up with a fiction story, like a story that seems so impossible to happen. Okay, so in that case, it's a very short story that you have to come up. So it's your time to shine, to dream about your your opas, or right. So your favorite actor seeing you or dating you. So those are the common what stories I heard from my what students. And in that case, right? So since you are already at some point interrupting the class because you're late, right? You are also entertaining the class, and that makes everything what I mean productive, and I think also on fire, right? Because you energize your classmates with your story. That's entertainment. So in that case, I apply that in the face to face. In this setup, I don't think that's what, not really necessary, but I don't think that's still ideal because of the time constraint and the signal, right? So in that case, maybe in the future you may apply, or we may, right? We don't know, right? Maybe I'll still be your teacher, right, in the coming years. So you may do that. Yeah, in that case, students, because of their rule, students don't like to be late, right? So in that case, they are what, they're present all the time, they're punctual as well because they don't like to give their valid and invalid reasons. So right, so how about you? What can you do as a teacher aside from the things I mentioned? Sir Ram, are you there? You may unmute. So what can you do as a teacher to overcome the difficulty of irregular attendance or at least tardiness of your students aside from the tips I have given you? You may speak now, Sir Ram. Can you think of ways? I mean, in the future, like how are you going to overcome this? Because right, teachers don't like their students to be absent. Of course, I mean, you like your students to come to your class, so you give your very best, right, to be creative in the class, to give or to prepare interesting activities. Aside from those, anyone? Sir Ram, you're ready? Or let me call another. Sir Joed, are you there?
I'm still here, ma'am.
Okay. So, what can you do as a teacher to overcome the difficulty of irregular attendance of your students?
So the only thing I can think of is just promoting different approaches in order for the student to participate also.
Mhm.
Since my teacher during senior high school also encourages some of us to try this method, since not all of us can attend his classes because some of us got work and some others has their family already.
Mhm.
So the teacher sometimes sends us a copy of his lesson plan, or sometimes he creates a Xerox copy of our current lesson and sends it to anyone who won't be able to attend these classes for the next week or so.
Mhm. Wow, I like that. I like that. Okay, thank you for that. Thank you for sharing that. So it's actually intervening, right? Irregularity of attendance. So if you can make it, I mean, many of my students also request that. So maybe recording, yeah, handouts, lesson. Correct. Thank you, Sir Joed. Yeah, you can also do that. How about Sir Ebner? Are you there, sir? Okay.
Hello, ma'am. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Good morning, ma'am. For me as a teacher, the best way is to motivate your students. So it's only up to you what kind of approach or what kind of motivation you're going to give them. But for me, the best way to motivate them is to give them extrinsic motivation. You
Mhm.
can give them incentives. You can give them post grades for them to be able to be more determined to go to school and to encourage them. That would be
Okay,
all po.
yeah, correct. Yeah, extrinsic motivation. At the same time, intrinsic, you've mentioned both, right? So that's great. Yeah, that's great to hear. So in that case, I mean, do not also torture yourself, teachers. If you believe that you have given your best, like you gave both extrinsic and intrinsic motivation, but still, right, the student can't make it to attend your class. Why? Because there are also other factors, right? External factors like their family situation, right, which is really what uncontrollable, right, in that sense. So in that case, the only thing you can do there is to pray, also talk to the parent, right, of course, as much as possible. You need to know what's happening because there will be instances that, I mean, for this, maybe this is the worst case scenario, right, that I experienced like twice in different classes that my students didn't uh, I didn't go home for months. For months. and the parents didn't know about it. So in that case, we really need to know that, or for instance, from time to time or once in a while, right, the student attends her class, but the parents are not aware that she's attending and not attending at the same time. So I even had a student like during the lockdown. I think it was only during the MGCQ that, yeah, or the MGCQ that I think the parents get to know where the student is located, and she's also sick. That's why I was worried. I didn't know that she's not living at home, but she told me that she's not living, or her parents are not aware of it. So in that case, we really need to monitor it. But that was already vacation, and I still have contact with the parents and the students. So thank you for your insights. Another difficulty, right? Their study habits in school. So it's important that they communicate with the teacher, just like this picture, right? It's important to understand the assignments and the expectations for class. Your students should also ask the teacher questions for clarity when needed. And if homework is missing, it's important to speak with the teacher about the reason. Or in our case, in the Google Classroom, when an activity is missing, it's either you are part of the correspondence team or you miss it. That's why I need to send you private message. Most of the time, the teacher takes the initiative in doing this. Another is you have to keep your assignments organized. So you should keep the details of your assignments. I mean, I'm talking to you as students, organized in a planner or notebook. And maybe you've had this before, assignment notebook, right? So it's only a notebook for your homeworks, assignments, even school activities or your activities, and you have to write down the dates for tasks, your tests and projects. And some work requires also multiple steps to finish, right? Just making a plan is very important. Another is you have to avoid procrastination as much as possible. So many students wait until the last minute to do their work. I mean, I can't blame you. There are many factors that might affect this attitude, but procrastination must be avoided. Why? Because unforeseen problems occur, like getting sick, right? Which could make it hard to complete the task, which is understandable. Okay, another, there what a habit of taking notes in class. So it's important that you listen at the same time you take notes. In my case, that's my practice even before, even until now. I practice it. So every time I also served as the master of ceremonies, uh, it is my style of highlighting at least 3 points of the things I learned from the speaker. So instead of, I mean, you will experience this to be invited as master of ceremonies because you're English majors, and right, you will be invited to serve as MC once, at least once in your life, and that's also my tip. So it's better that you highlight, right, points from the speaker, so or summarize what you learned. So instead of simply saying thank you for a wonderful and comprehensive talk, so you may also insert your insights. Okay, so it's important that you take the notes. May I ask for hard react if you are taking down notes, even if you're already given a soft copy of IM, because there are some things I mentioned here that are not there. Okay, thank you. Sir Joshua is taking down notes about the others. Mom staff also, right? Especially the tips that I really don't post here, but I just share with you. Okay, Mom Shy also. Okay, so it's really a good practice. One practice I also apply, even I mean since college, when my teacher in front of that, like the one liner things that my teachers say to the or in the class, I always take down notes of those things. Another habit is you need to highlight key concepts in the reading material, but not all students, right, are having easy behavior in terms of this. Another difficulty that is definitely inevitable in your class in the future, the negative attitudes of your learners. Given, I mean, these are young learners, but you will also be exposed. You will definitely be exposed to senior high school or junior high school, which are still in transition. So you will notice bullying, quarreling children, or at least youth, fighting, right? These are what possible scenarios in the future that you might encounter. Crying kid, okay? Okay, and all these negative attitudes. So they have problems with self-discipline, right? And of course, what behavior. So how would you overcome this? If you encounter this negative attitude, okay, as a teacher, how will you overcome this? Right? And another thing, I think I've mentioned this before, a tip. When you're fun or if you're fond of writing on the board, please do not turn your back, right, to your students. You need to make sure that you're at least half of your body is looking at them. Why? Because you need to monitor everybody, especially if these are grade 7 students, right? Or maybe regardless of the grade level, right? The fighting sometimes cannot be avoided. So you have to be there, right? Your eyes on them. So it's also better that you have the U shape or you apply U shape so you see everybody, right? What they're doing and what they're being busy with. Anyone? Let me call Sir Eugene. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
So if you encounter a negative attitude of your student in the future, how would you deal with it?
Ma'am, if one of my students will show negative attitude,
Mm.
because of course I will say, what do you call that? Pagsasabihan ko siya, ma'am. Of
Mm.
course, I will say positive things and what do you call that?
Okay. Definitely, if the child was caught in the act, right? So in that case,
Yes,
it's okay,
ma'am.
Sir Ram. For example, he was caught in the act of fighting or bullying the classmate. So how you said that you will acknowledge first, right, the positive things, and definitely acknowledge the negative behavior or attitude. And then you may also cite because some students are not into receiving. Would you agree? Can you give me like or act if you agree that not all students are into receiving your what counsel, right? Your commands, right? And most of the time when you say stop, they will continue doing it, right? Thank you, Ma'am Michaela. They will continue doing that negative behavior. That is why it's not always that we give our command or imperatives to the student, but we give them scenarios, right? We need to teach them how to be empathetic, that if you were in the shoe of that person you were teasing, how would you feel, right? In that case, it's more of what values inculcation, right? In that case, you don't really need to say, hey, you don't tease your classmate. That's bad. So instead of saying that, he himself, right, will be the one to realize that he did something wrong. So in that case, it's better that you give what situation, and then allow the student to be empathetic. If you were in the shoe, right, of that student, will you be happy, right, being called names? Will you be happy if you were the one being hurt, being punched, or being laughed at, right? Of course, they don't want to be in that position. So in that case, they will take initiative to change their behavior. Okay. Of course, if there are difficulties, we also have solutions. Right. So the best way to thresh out causes and come up with solutions is to conduct a dialogue, right, where parents may be invited to drop by the school or the teacher and may pay a visit to their home. Home visitation is necessary. You will experience that in the future, right? To tell you honestly, you will experience home visitation, especially you will be teaching in basic education, right? If the parent really can't come to the school because of a hectic schedule, you really need to pay a visit. Okay, and a calm and friendly face-to-face exchange of observations could straighten some disturbing interactions, ending with a promise. Sometimes, yeah, with a promise of undertaking remediation in both quarters or in both parties, right? So on your part as a parent, so what can you do? On your part as a teacher, what will you do? So in that case, it's so important, right? However, what have you noticed with the nature, or at least the impression of teacher being called, right, by the teacher? What do you think? What have you noticed with our Okay, we have a comment here in the chat. Ma'am Jolly said, yung iba po kasing nambully kadalasan sila yung kulang sa attention po ng magulang or di po masaya sa nangyayari po sa buhay niya. In my opinion po, ma'am. Okay, yeah. Sometimes also the bullies or the bullied before, right? So there are so many factors that affect that. So that's also correct, right? Students, I mean, bully kids are the ones who need really well close attention from their parents. That's why they just seek attention in school. Okay, anyone? Okay. So in this case, right, you need to conduct dialogue. In our case also, if you're familiar with the Tea Party, we can also consider this. Maybe really not parents are there, but as a solution is with the pre-service teachers. So we invite their cooperating or critic teachers to have a dialogue and ask how are you doing in the field? Right. So it's also important to have that dialogue. So at least we receive feedback, real, authentic feedback from your critic teacher, not only from you, the pre-service teacher. So, in many aspects, dialogue is necessary. Okay, in on this picture, you also see teachers paying visit, right, to kids' houses and talking with the parents, right? Why? Because positive attitudes of kind-heartedness and patience are developed through modeling. So in that case, you model that you are also an accommodating teacher, right? That the parents shouldn't feel what afraid of you, and vice versa. Sometimes teachers are the ones afraid of the parents because, I mean, parents' attitude or personalities are definitely what unpredictable, right? So, in terms of this, regularity in attendance and doing daily assignments need strong motivation and encouragement from both sides. So, you can also encourage a parent, right, to take an oath, at least a promise, like, ma'am, what can you, I mean, miss, or the mom, what can you do? What do you think? What can you promise me that you will do to intervene with your with your child's activities, assignments, right? So in that case, yeah, letters and praises as well to parents for outstanding performances could really build confidence and strengthen determination to continue the good work. I have here an example of an email because I think I mentioned to you that I am a tutor of my cousin who lives in Alameda, California, and the parent, so my aunt, sent me this email from the teacher. Let me share with you. Okay, so the elementary school is Ruby Bridges, so it's a message from the teacher to the parent. So, hi there. I just wanted you to know Javen's the kid, has been showing great effort and participation. He did a wonderful job sharing his drawing with the class during our reading instruction today. Also, Javen is making a lot of progress in his ELD group. I wonder if you notice any positive changes. Keep up the amazing work. And sorry, I forgot. So that's a teacher. So, what can you say about this email? What are the positive things that you notice about the mere fact that the teacher sends email of progress to the parent? Mm-hmm. Ma'am Catherine?
Good morning po.
Mm-hmm.
So, ayun po, sa email niya po, parang it's what the teacher, what the teacher did is, great.
Mm-hmm.
Parang he or he complimented the child po. Parang it is one way of motivating the parents or
Mm-hmm.
those who are supporting that child para po um they will still continue helping the child to do more, do their best, something like that. So what the teacher did was great.
Okay, great, great. That's the exact what comment I'm expecting from you. Thank you, ma'am. So in that case, constant communication to also appreciate, right, the effort of the parents, or just like what you said, all the external people, right, to help the child improve himself. So in this case, whatever progress, right, whatever improvement your child or your student does, you need to report it to the parents. So at least, right, they're aware. At the same time, they can also what at least a lot time, right, improving or heightening that specific skill of the child. Okay, maybe at home they don't know, right, the maybe just maybe the parent, right, didn't know or doesn't know that the child can draw, can sing, can play musical instrument, right, or can read as fast as they could, right. But with this, what constant communication with the parent, teacher parent communication, um, this will really make a difference on the students' learning. So another, values develop. So there are values and strong inclinations starting from home and are developed further in school. So that's our hope, right? So these values that have been developed from home should really be developed further in school, not change or not be worsened. Okay. So some of the most desirable values are, respect for elders and for the rights of others, cooperation, like these kids here, willingness to share food, right? This is, the gift of generosity and deep sense of responsibility or persistence in terms of what group activities, taking initiative, but not doing everything as a leader, but, delegating tasks, right? Students exhibiting exemplary traits must be given due recognition. At least verbal, what encouragement, right? Verbal feedback is really important. Also, well, that also depends on the love language of the kid. It can be well, through extrinsic, just like what Sir Abner said, extrinsic or intrinsic motivation. Let's have our Q&A. So I have your questions or situations, and I would love to you to decide or to give your decisions on the following. May I call? Okay, can you give me a number, Sir John? 1 to 5.
Number 4, ma'am.
Number 4. Okay, thank you. 1, 2, 3, 4. Ma'am Ruth. Okay, please unmute. Okay, okay. Are you there? I think it's the static. Okay. Can you hear me now?
Yes, ma'am.
So the question is, will you request a dialogue with parents in the future, and how will you do it? How do you think you'll do it?
If something happens
Mm-hmm.
to his or her daughter or son
Mm-hmm.
concerning his studies,
Mm-hmm.
um, yes, I would like to have a conversation with the parents concerning with the studies of my future student,
Mm-hmm.
because it is very important to know the concern of the students regarding to his progress in his studies.
Okay. How will you think you'll do it effectively?
Um, I think because if I directly said it to the student to call his parents, he will not do it. I know,
Correct.
but I think it is very essential nowadays that we have our messenger
Mm-hmm.
with the teacher. So I would directly message her
Mm-hmm.
with respect and concerning with the studies of progress of studies of his or her daughter or son.
Okay, yeah. Also, yeah, correct. Simply proper communication, right? When you request a dialogue with parents. How about not an individual parent? So you'd like to call for what a
I
meeting,
mean,
for instance, yeah. How do you think you'll do it effectively that majority of the parents will really come to that meeting?
um, I think if you were truly concerned with the status of your
Mm-hmm.
daughter or son,
Mm-hmm.
right? You will go and have a concern. But mostly our parents are busy,
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
so I think um, we can do instruction to their daughter or son
Mm-hmm.
to give it to their parents instructions go and concerning their status.
Yeah, usually that's the way, right? So, for example, through their assignment notebook.
Yes,
Why? Because children definitely will
take a note.
motivate, yeah, will motivate or encourage their parents to come and attend, right? So, thank you for that. There's also, yeah, you're right. So, whatever means you do, right? It will still depend on the parents' concern, or at least not really the parents' concern. Majority of the parents are concerned, but it depends on their availability, right?
Yes.
Or at least their priority in terms of attending your meeting. There's one film I've watched. Have you watched Freedom Riders? I think I've shared that before. Freedom Riders and teacher Erin Gruwell in the film. That's actually based on true story. Yeah, thank you, Ma'am Sarina. And teacher Erin Gruwell prepared so much, right, during the dialogue or the request for a dialogue with the parents. However, still, because of different family backgrounds, no one attended the meeting, right? It's not that the effort was wasted, right? But it's a preparation for a bigger, purpose. Okay? Thank you, ma'am. Another, may I? Can you give me a number, ma'am? Ma'am Ruth, can you give me a number 1 to 5?
Two.
2. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mhm. Sir JC? Okay, sorry. Sorry again. Okay, please unmute. Okay, for the second, daily assignments are incomplete. Oftentimes not understood. What will you do, Sir JC?
Ma'am, can you repeat the question? Nagputol-putol.
Okay, daily assignments are incomplete. Oftentimes not understood. What will you do as a teacher?
Um, as a teacher, to my future students, if ever they submitted incomplete or unfinished assignment,
Mm-hmm.
I'll ask them why they are not able to do it. Because understanding the side of the student
Mm-hmm.
gives you as a teacher more, how do you call this? Um, it gives you more opportunity to know their circumstances and how you can adjust your teaching methods
Mm-hmm.
according to the circumstances.
Okay, yeah.
Also,
What else?
um, letting their parents know is also a good thing to know,
Okay.
with regards to their assignments, because sometimes parents are busy and because they cannot supervise their
Mm-hmm.
children at home. So sending them a message, for example, let them know how their children is doing, even though they aren't so often at home or are always busy.
Okay, yeah. I appreciate that. Thank you, Sir JC. So, yeah, also involving the parents is good. You're right. Okay, another is a clarification. Thank you for taking the initiative to ask and thank you for being empathetic, right? That it's not always what the reason that your student's activity was incomplete because he wasn't able to understand it, right? There can be other factors or reasons behind that, and instead of the teacher being mad, right, or yeah, shouting at the student, why do you have incomplete, why didn't you finish your DLSM, so instead of being hysterical, right, why not ask, right? Why? Maybe because it's the giving of instructions, right? That you failed, and students are afraid to approach you to ask for clarification. So in that case, yeah, thank you for your humble attitude to ask your students. Thank you, Sir JC. Another, Sir JC, may I ask for number 1 to 5?
Number three, ma'am.
Number three. One, two, three. Ma'am Shai, Ma'am Shaya, you may unmute. Are you there, Ma'am Shaya? For okay, can you hear me now, Ma'am Shaya? You may unmute. Okay, or I think she's having what problem with her connection? How about Ma'am Karen? Okay, hi, Ma'am Karen.
Good
So
day, ma'am.
good day. So the situation is a student is observed to be negative or indifferent to his classmates' suggestions. So, how would you intervene in this
Um,
kind of situation? Again, the student is observed to be negative or indifferent to his classmates' suggestions. How will you intervene?
you mean, ma'am, na for example, the children or the students' idea is not appropriate with the suggestions that you expected.
For instance, the leader is asking for opinions, but then the leader also is being so negative towards the classmate's suggestion, or he keeps on declining the suggestion of the members. So how will you intervene?
Well, actually, I think it involves or you can actually do it as a debate for that suggestion and to the other suggestion so that you can see the difference or why did the student said that, so
Mm-hmm.
you can actually gain knowledge by that, so it cannot be said as a negative,
Mm-hmm.
but it's actually the opinion or what the students view as per that topic or that opinion.
Okay. Yeah, I like how you are so rational and logical about it, correct? Right? I like your strategy here to conduct debate or at least weigh in, right? Or balance the ideas of two, right, of two students and be judged by the members, right? Correct, right? So voting can be done. I normally do that in the class. I don't just make decisions on my own. I need to involve my students in terms of decision making, and I always use the voting, right? The voting strategy or technique, right? To to garner the majority decision. Thank you, ma'am. I like your idea. Another for the last Q&A part. Ma'am Jelly, can you unmute?
Yes, ma'am.
Number four is for your situation. A student is always involved in cases of misbehavior.
I'm sorry, ma'am. My data is unstable, ma'am.
Yeah, it's okay. You may type your answer in the chat. Yeah, I also realized that even like days before this day, the connection is not that stable. I mean, to many. Right. So the question is a student, I mean, the situation is a student is always involved in cases of misbehavior. So what do you think you can do as a teacher? Well, first things first, since it's always always being involved in cases of misbehavior, you need to, this is my professional and expert advice, you need to consult the guidance help, right? The guidance office help. I don't know if I also share with you when my student of mine got involved in what stealing, right? And then I was called actually by the, not really employer, but the coordinator, because it's work immersion. And what happened, I needed the advice, of course, of the principal's office, or I mean the principal herself. So before talking to the student about it, because I was called in a private dialogue, right, with the employer. Okay, so instead of talking directly to the student, I asked for the help of the principal, and the principal recommended me to go to the guidance office. And then I spoke to the guidance counselor for more than 2 hours, I think. And yeah, so in that case, yeah, this is what I think the highlight of it, the highlight of my dialogue with the guidance counselor. She told me that I need to, of course, take everything confidential, keep everything in private, and make sure that the student is fine with talking about it. So I don't pinpoint directly, even though I don't know if there's hard evidence, right, from the office where she's conducting her work immersion. But in my case, I don't want to go there right away. I would like her to take the initiative to open up. And in that case, she confessed also that she even has what history of that attitude because of so many factors. And and it also do not also bring, right, for example, your student open up, right, her problems with you as a teacher. You may also keep the trust of the student. So if that student is not comfortable yet to go to the guidance office, because there's always a psychological, right, impression towards guidance office and guidance counselor. So you may also resolve it, right? You may have or receive advices from the guidance counselor while putting it into practice as you speak to the kid. Okay. So Ma'am Jelly said, I think, Ma'am, I need also to talk to their parents for behavior of their children. Yeah, correct. So that's the the best thing to do as well is to talk to the parents. Why? Because most of the time the parents aren't aware of the misbehavior of the children. Okay. So thank you for your insights. So in this case, right? So how do you face or dialogue with unreceptive parents or receptive parents? Again, not all parents, right, are receptive. Not all of them will simply accept what you're telling them, right? So first is you need to employ an honest approach towards parents. So concern of children should be conveyed openly, and children should offer their help in decision making rather than insisting to take control. It may also be easier for parents to be receptive to your help in the long run, and observation should be shared with parents for future fruitful conversations. Another thing is you have to be patient, right? Don't talk to parents like they are children. They're adults and they're parents. They're still parents. Yeah, you have to give them time to think about their options. Why? Because their children should express their concerns and offer them to handle their healthcare, finances, and other issues, definitely behavioral issues. Another thing is you have to give expert advice. So you have to bring in the experts like the family doctor parents visit regularly, lawyer or financial advisor to recommend or even prescribe the parents need some professional help. Again, some parents will not easily accept this idea, but with the right way of communication, they will understand that they need to ask for professional help. So another tip is you need to explain the benefits, right? You have to stress what the benefits are to the parents so that they will have a choice in the decisions that need to be made. And when it is presented as an offer rather than insisting that someone is taking control, it may be easier, right, for parents now to be receptive because they know that they will benefit from it. Another tip is you have to maintain parents' independence. Okay, decide what responsibilities and decisions parent can still control because they're still the parents, right? They will, I think this is the normal reaction, right? Or response from the parents, anak ko yan eh. Right? Ako pa rin ang magulang yan. Right? Ako ang masusunod and so on. So their independence should not suddenly be taken away from them. So some parents will insist that they know what to do, right? And that they don't need your help, right? So your help should sound like help, suggestion, not insisting to take control. Okay, another, right, you have to choose the most desirable value that must be developed among your children in school and at home. So, how should well behaved students be given due recognition? Anyone? Would like to share your insights about that question? How do you think, right, well-behaved students be given due recognition? Have you also noticed that most of the time, well-behaved, they're also called always children? Okay. Uh, yeah. Have you also noticed that most of the time, well-behaved students are not given recognition because they're well-behaved? Right? So one great way to ensure that you recognize your always children is to keep a tally of how many rewards you give out and to whom. Right? You might also be surprised when you do this to find out how uneven our use of praise and attention can inadvertently be. That's why most sometimes we are tagged as teachers with favoritism, even though we really don't have favoritism, right? Just because we always notice the most active and disregard the most behaved student. So in that case, we need to balance everything. And let's try not to assume, all right, the children don't want their efforts to be recognized just because they seem to find it easier than their peers to behave well or do good work. They also want to be recognized. They want due recognition. And we have to consider the kind of things that we reward our children for. So we may include social and emotional successes as well as academic ones, right? And as a parent, right, we need to be proud about their certificate, right? About helping their certificate, about helping their classmates, okay, or any academic attainment. Another good tip is to make yourself a whole class set of rewards and then set yourself a target to hand out the full set. So you may give, little rewards from day to day, and then you may give, reward. Okay. Another, right, you may consider to what kind of rewards or always children or the behaved children might appreciate. Right? Again, you need to use varied verbal feedback. Have I shared with you the 100 ways to praise? Can you give me heart react for that? Have I told you about using 100 ways to praise and not only saying, oh, that's great, oh, that's good? How about ways to improve, or how about other verbal feedback? Have I shared with you that? No, not yet. No heart react. Okay, so you may search for that, or I may send it to our GC or Google Classroom. Please remind me. So in that sense, please mute. Okay, so there are a list of 100 ways to praise. So depending on the situation, depending on the answer of your student, depending on the behavior, there are so many words that you can say. If you are not what always, I think, able to give tangible rewards, you may give appropriate feedback. Okay. So interest also, special interest and innate talents. Notice at the young age of your students, such as heightened propensity for music and drama, art, athletics, and others, must be attended to by sensitive mentors and guardians. In my case, if we're going to go back to the email that I've read to you or I've shared with you, that he's the student I was talking about, whom I not really clinically diagnosed yet, but based on many observations, I've noticed that he's dyslexic. So he has this uh, disorder in terms of, I mean, yeah, difficulty in terms of reading. So in that case, as you notice in on the email, it was emphasized that he shared his drawing during a reading class. So in that case, he's really what artistic. So I emphasize every time we have this Zoom class, I will ask about his drawings, and we will also have interval, classes when where he needs to draw things. Sometimes you're requested for that, but you also need to balance, right? So you still need to stick to your goals, and that's reading. So in that case, we have to be very sensitive in terms of their interests and their talents, right? Because they would like to talk about it. They would like to talk about their talents, right? The things they do. And students just really need one, especially young children. They just really need people to listen to them. And that's what I noticed. I mean, he's very open to me. He even every time I will ask about what he feels, he's very honest. He would tell me, I feel mad, I feel sad about it. There's one time that he also said that he's little, just that's little, just that's his word. He's a little mad towards me, and then I asked, why are you mad at me? And then the reason he's mad at me was I invited him, I mean I told his mom that we will have Zoom class, but he's still playing with his sister. So in that sense, that's the only thing that made him a little mad at me, because he's playing, but and I didn't know about it. I didn't know that he's playing, and then his mom really would like us to have Zoom class. So in that case, we have to give our full attention and establish rapport, and then in that way we can gain the trust of the students. Another, yeah, the school and community. So the school is usually located at the center of the town or city, I think, right? All towns have at least one school, and as such it is subjected to daily scrutiny by the members of their community, right? Oh, most of the time you will be scrutinized by these members of the society, in that school, blah blah blah, and so on. And seeing their students play or work, personnel busy with everyday tasks, and teachers with the usual eyeful watch, right? Everyone passing by witnessing such would feel proud of their school, or vice versa. It depends on the situation, but most of the time it's that, right? So the community would in turn show their gratitude and appreciation by keeping their school surroundings clean and comfortable for the children, and by sharing resources whenever needed. So in this case, right, the school officials actively participate in community projects just like this. DepEd's Sulong Edukalidad. It is the latest national campaign that aims to consolidate the efforts of all stakeholders to raise the quality of basic education. The theme is Sama-sama sa Pagsulong ng Edukalidad, addressing the challenge of quality in basic education. Another article by Manila Bulletin or Merlina Malipot, DepEd, the heading was DepEd to focus on reading literacy of students. So recognizing quality to be the biggest challenge of basic education today. So DepEd will focus on addressing the gaps in reading literacy of students. I'm certain you've heard about the PISA results, right? That we got low rating in terms of reading in science. So for its research o'clock forum scheduled on March 2, okay, DepEd will delve on, actually they already delved on addressing the challenges in the quality of basic education with focus on reading literacy. And DepEd's curriculum and instruction will share an understanding of the 2018 PISA report and the efforts of the agency to address challenges in reading literacy. Likewise, action research studies in reading, such as using localized context to improve reading literacy skills for or of grade 1 learners, teaching reading in the multi-grade classroom. We have that, right? Or maybe that can be your calling in the future, that you will be called to teach a multi-grade classroom in different. Have you watched the Thai film Teacher's Diary? Can you give me heart react if you're familiar with that? I also suggest you watch it. It's a great film for teachers. It's a Thai film, and the teachers, there are two teachers there from two different times, and or at least two different semesters or period or academic year, and these two teachers are teaching multi-grade, okay, classroom, because it's a floating school. Okay, it's a floating school, and the teachers are the ones who need to fetch using, I mean, just by riding boat. Okay, they're the ones to fetch the students. There's grade 1, and there's even very young learner, and there's grade 6, right? So but it's a small class, but it's still a challenge for teachers because they teach multi-grade classroom. So again, that's another great movie to watch. The title is Teacher's Diary. It's a Thai film. Okay, so another, yeah, the reading proficiency of learners was put under the spotlight recently following a report citing that there are 70,000, imagine, non-readers in Bicol region based on the initial results of PhilErie or Philippine Informa Reading Inventory. Another highlight for, the engagement or involvement of the municipal city officials are likewise ready to provide help not only in improving the physical facilities of the school. Definitely it's a job of the LGU, right? The LGU or local government units definitely improve the physical facilities of different local schools. There are a number of school board paid teachers also in the country. So in this case, you may also let me share the link. Let me share the link in the chat. You may read this entire PDF of report about DepEd's programs and projects. Where is the chat? Mhm. Okay, so you may check the PDF file. You may browse. These are, I think, 27 pages, right, of DepEd's programs and projects beneficiaries as of February 2020. Oops, let me read some comments in the chat. Okay. Just like what my previous teachers did, I may give additional points or scores. I will tell them to continue the positive attitude. Thank you, Eugene, for this. Mhm. Correct. Okay. So in this case, right, we have programs, projects, and beneficiaries. So they have education policy development program. So you will see there in the file, right, different programs by DepEd that they conduct throughout the year. At the same time, we have this Division Memorandum number 289 series of 2020 titled Project Kalayaan School Family Community Synergy Teacher Volunteers. So from time to time, imagine it was released July 2020, right? It's really evident, right? Our community engagement or community involvement in terms of, school or teacher volunteering. Okay, also at PUP, we have the Salin Kaalaman. Are you aware of this? Can you give me a like or act if you're aware of this? I mean, different colleges in the university would conduct Salin Kaalaman program, right? Or yeah, activity that where they will choose beneficiaries around the community and they will teach certain, skills. So for example, here advanced IT literacy program or let me show you the video. Okay, let me share the screen. Let me check. Okay, can you give me a like or act if you can see this now? Okay, thank you, Ma'am Steph. I think, okay, this one. Okay, so please mute.
Need a professional website? I created one for our.
Okay, so in that video, right, that's from PPQC. So it depends on, right, the expertise and they really need to choose the best beneficiaries for this, the people who will really benefit or will utilize the skills. So in this case, it's advanced IT literacy program. It's like a training workshop that we do from time to time, even, I mean, different branches and campuses, even at the main campus. So in that case, you may also recall, right, about your, for example, see what's community extension projects. Have you had that before? Like, what did you do in your CWTS class? Anyone would like to share? Ma'am Jelly?
Ma'am,
Yes. Do you still remember what
hello
you
ma'am.
did in CWTS class?
I remember nung nagsiwats po kami, lagi po kami nasa simbahan po kasi. Kay Sir ano po yun, kay Poy, Sir Poy po. Andun lang po kami lagi.
Okay, thank you, Ma'am Jelly. Well, that's also what I mean, community involvement because church is part of community. Thank you, ma'am. Okay, so I think I believe you belong to the same CWATS class, right? So in that case, let me share what my CWATS classes did when I was still teaching at PUP Pulilan. It's a campus of PUP in Bulacan. I think I handled 2 years of CWTS classes, and one one project was, I think I mentioned this before. Right, my students conduct this a Christmas party with the children. Another beneficiaries were the elders. So that was the most unforgettable immersion, at least a project, community project with me, with my students. Why? Because it was so emotional, right? I mean, because the my students are the ones who decide, who decided to choose their beneficiaries. And I like that they also consider the elders because they believe that elders are usually the ones who are neglected at home, right? So I like their concern and their compassion towards the elders. And then we contact first a barangay official who will give us the list of all these possible beneficiaries, and then we invited them. I mean, it's definitely became the job of the barangay official, right, to consolidate everyone, to invite everyone, and then just we prepare the program, we prepare the venue as well. And we were so emotional that time because they were all elders and they really appreciated the project. Yeah, another was the, just like what I said, a Christmas party, or the gift giving, and the feeding program or the feeding activity of my students. So in that case, right, you get involved in a community, you get to know what they need, right? So at least once in their life. So for instance, the elders, or they feel appreciated, or for those children who don't usually receive tangible gifts during Christmas and have Christmas parties, right? You're able to let them experience those. So yeah, those are the things I miss whenever I teach CWTS class. Okay, so next, okay, we have. Wait a minute. I'm sorry if you can hear the child shouting. That's our neighbor. Okay, so there's another one here. It's Asia, the Salin Kaalaman article that you can find online. Also, this is only just a proof of that. Okay, another is this. Okay, so in this case, during also historic celebrations, right? I mean, I'm certain you've been part of these celebrations in school where we invite our parents. It's like Family Day, Nutrition Month, right? Buwan ng Wika, right? Even field demo. I'm certain once in your life you've experienced any of these celebrations, right? So also organized associations are part. So we have schools that have organized parent teacher associations, or PTA, right? Formerly referred to as parents, teachers, and community associations, with the officers coming from both, their members. So they undertake projects and activities aimed at promoting a harmonious and enjoyable relationship among themselves. So the officers come from all the parents. Okay, regular meetings are conducted to discuss activities that are intended to improve and assist conditions prevailing in both. But of course, I mean, realistically speaking, right? You've also observed that not all parents are cooperative in terms of this, or sometimes they have their own personal issues regarding PTA. But the mere idea of this is right, for the teacher also to encourage the parents to develop, right, and establish a strong spirit of cooperation, right, as well as sharing of expertise and material resources. Maybe it's not new to you that majority of our appliances, right, in school are donated by parents. I remember when I was in elementary, I have my classmates' parent was the one who donated all the electric fans in the school. So in that case, sometimes that arises what conflict or issue, right? Well, it depends on the heart condition. It's a matter of the heart, right? If you like to give material resources, then go. It's for the as just as much that it's for the child, it's for the benefit of your children. But I don't think there's nothing bad about it. So representations during town or school affairs create strong ties among the parents, right? Or its members. Thus helping hands are volunteered in times of needs. Can you share your experience when uh, you came to the school with your parent during PTA, or you're not allowed to go, or you insist not to go with your parent during PTA? Do you have memorable experience that you can share with us about PTA meetings? Or maybe your parents didn't want to attend PTA meeting, but you would like them to attend? Anyone? May I call Sir Joshua?
Good morning, ma'am.
Morning.
So, yung po is, tuwing ano po, tuwing PTA meeting po is, lalo na po si mommy po is, lagi naman po siyang na-attend po.
Mm-hmm.
Tapos po is, tuwing PTA meetings po is, um, parang ano lang po, parang yung ganun pa rin po, yung, tukol po sa mga rules about class po, tapos sa mga voucher, lalo na po no senior high.
Mm-hmm.
Tapos po is yung tungkol nga po sa grades. So yung sa grades po, yung po yung parang parang ano nga po, parang exciting po, tapos yung pinaka nakakabang part po kasi nga po doon po malalaman po yung performance,
Yeah.
which is maganda naman po kasi po nabibigay rin po ng mga teachers po namin yung mga feedbacks po individually po sa mga parents po namin.
Yeah, correct. That also tests that the teacher knows her students, right? So, yeah, you're right. Most of the time, you only have PTA meetings during also the releasing of grades, right? Or cards. So, yeah, thank
Yes
you.
po.
Yeah, for reminding us that. So, another, yeah, so there's an article published in Squeeze.ph titled Why Parents Teachers Associations Are Important. And it says here the goal of such an assembly is a meeting of minds and hearts to uplift the school environment. Every elementary and secondary school is tasked to organize a PTA for the purpose of providing a forum for the exchange of ideas, discussion of issues, and formulation of solutions related to the school program. And this association provides a venue to effectively reach the full cooperation of parents, your parents, for the efficient implementation of such programs. Because without their help, right, I mean, these programs will not be put into implementation or practice. And this is one of the general principles of Department of Education Order number 54 series of 2009. It's the very idea of a general assembly organized by the BTA in every school, which is very important because it serves as a free avenue and platform for discussion, just like what Sir Joshua said, right? For teachers and parents to discuss about students' performance or any feedback that needs to be heard by the parent. And it's only, in this opportune avenue or venue where parents and teachers freely sketch common goals and unite, to conduct school related activities. Sometimes, yeah, they would create their own activities, uh, definitely they will support the students improvement or performance. They will also initiate projects like, for instance, they need to buy what, a television, right, for the class or for the students, and also to aid in the implementation of school policies. So in terms of attending is a must. Sometimes they even have their own meeting, right, not including the parent, maybe right outside that. So communication is undeniably vital in ensuring that the best conditions are set to educate the children or our students. And information dissemination is more efficiently achieved through the PTA officers, and that is great. I've learned now that parents have their own GC. I just learned that my mom is part of a group chat of the parents of my youngest sister in senior high school. So in that case, it's of an easy way, right, of communicating. Unlike before, right? I mean, it's not really that hard, but I mean, because they belong to one community or one barangay, so they can easily talk to one another. But in this case, that we are, in a digital world as well. So it's easy to communicate through Facebook Messenger and other social media platforms. And this assembly may be conducted twice a year in order for accomplishments to be properly recognized and for concerns to be properly resolved. So for instance, now the concern is mainly about the modules, right? Submission of the modules, returning of the modules, I mean claiming of the modules weekly or at least twice, thrice a month, like that. So truly an organized PTA and the proper conduct of these assemblies in every school contribute to establishing a strong community. And this email also said that the goal of such an assembly is a meeting of minds and hearts to uplift the school environment and to improve the categorical conditions that the children or pupils are experiencing. And you may also check out, right, the department order number 54 series of 2009 that I mentioned earlier about PTA. There are guidelines there, right, about PTA. So it also includes recognition and monitoring in PTAs, members and assistant, members of the board. You also have their activities, right? The DepEd may allow the PTA to construct a building or structure. Well, it depends on the fund. Also, one of your classmates mentioned about being part of Brigada Escuela, and this is another example of collaboration among school, parents, and community. So, our theme now are for 2020, Bayanihan 2020 Oplan Balik Escuela at Brigada Escuela. So, this is conducted at the beginning of the school year and is now institutionalized Department of Education and has resulted to strong partnership of the school with the community. Just like what you see in the picture, cleaning, disinfecting, especially now in times of this pandemic, right? So with the implementation of school-based management, the School Governing Council or SGC per school has been organized, and the school also, governing council is more than the PTA in a sense that the SGC shares in a task of policy making in the school. So, in this case, there's an update that Enchanted Kingdom President and CEO Mario Mamon reaffirms its support to DepEd during the launch of Joint Brigada Escuela and Upland Balik Escuela program. So, normal scenario during Brigada Escuela is, yeah, repairing of chairs, right? Painting chairs, cleaning the room, and parents, even the students are part of Brigada Escuela. Okay, so the theme is pagpapanatili ng bayanihan tungo sa kalidad na edukasyon para sa kabataan. Okay, so there are guidelines here. So this is the schedule or activity and schedule of Brigada Escuela 2020. Okay, this is the memo that supports it, and the schedule of activities for the 2020 Brigada Escuela under item number 11 of Division Memorandum number 032 series of 2020. So they modified it into National Brigada Escuela online kickoffs or June 1, and then Regional Division Kickoff Program, Brigada Escuela implementation, monitoring of schools is important, submission of Brigada Escuela, and accomplishment reports. So, public safety, beautification, and cleanliness should also be observed in compliance with ordinances, afford ample protection, given that now, if you've heard about DepEd staking to no face-to-face setup, right? So it debunks the, not really debunks, but it doesn't affirm the OVP, or Office of the Vice President, idea of the classroom setup. Have you seen the pictures? Can you give me a like react if you've seen the picture of I mean, there's a table and then there's a screen, right, that supports, I mean, that protects the child, but still DepEd says no to face interaction. Okay, even proper waste disposal should be but observed not only in school but definitely in the community. Okay, in Manila Bulletin, again, another article says, yeah, Gatchalian urges DepEd to ensure protocols in place to protect students from COVID-19. So Gatchalian, the chairman of the Senate Committee on Basic Education, Arts and Culture, emphasized that the World Health Organization has declared that 2019 COVID outbreak is now a public health emergency of international concern. So Gatchalian said, ngayong may kumpirmadong kaso na ng coronavirus sa Pilipinas, mahalagang paigtingin natin ang pangangalaga sa kaligtasan ng mga mag-aaral. Kung may mga mag-aaral tayong nakikitaan ng mga sintomas kaugnay ng virus o history ng pagkakaroon ng respiratory infections, mahalagang handa ang ating mga paaralan, local health officials at mga magulang sa pagresponde upang maiwasan ang mabilis sa pagkalat ng sakit. As you notice here, there's really what? There should really be a coordination, cooperation, and participation of all stakeholders, school, local health officials, and definitely the parents. Okay, and instructional centers and materials are also part of the community stakeholders. Outstanding school personnel as well as barangay officials are honored in terms of this. This serves as a motivation for both parties and their followers to continue with their commendable practice. As you notice here, there are values of nationalism, unity, what is cleanliness of the environment, respect for authority, and self-discipline. And these are possible, just like our game earlier, that's a connection. Those public places, not only of entertainment, but of learning, are important as part of the community. So you can access your clean river. I hope we have clean rivers around us. We have our local library. Can you give me how react if you've been to your local library? In your municipal library, have you been there? Not only in the national. Okay, great. That is Ma'am Shai. How about the others? Okay, great, right? It's also nice to go to our respective local libraries. Why? Because most of the resources there are contextualized depending on where we are located. Sir Abner, Ma'am Janaya, who else? Yeah, thank you. Thank you for being part and taking the initiative to be part of your community. Even factories, it's a common place, right? I mean, during field trips, have you been to I mean, what factory you've been to during your field trips? Can you type in the chat? I remember we went to Mongol, the pencil factory. We went there during our field trip. Gardenia, yeah, we've been there too. Majority Gardenia, right? So, okay, just Gardenia. Okay, it's just Gardenia. Maybe there during our time. Wow, our time. Okay, because we have the same. Oh, Nature Spring. Oh, there's a Enchanted Kingdom. Okay, that's part. Also, theme parks are part. Okay, of these instructional centers, not only for entertainment, but because I mean, for example, Iki, have you been to what's it? The Aguila experience. I've experienced that. Can you give me how react if you went to EK and then you experienced the Aguila experience? Yeah, Ruth, thank you. I mean, if it's your first time, and Sir Abner also, if it's your first time, it's really entertaining. It's one of a kind experience, right? Because everything is, I mean, you're moving And then it's like it seems like you're flying with the eagle there, and you've been to. I mean, you will go to different places or tourist destinations in the Philippines, and it felt like you're a child again. I mean, I've been well. It's a new attraction in China Kingdom, but even though you're old, I mean, you're old. I mean, you're adult right now. Okay, you still appreciate that, but I don't think it's ideal for the second time, right? I mean, but if you have forgotten the experience, maybe you can try it again with other what friends or other family members and so on. Okay, so that's part. So nature spring. Okay, Marikina Shoe Factory. Wow. Okay. Okay, so you've been to Marikina Shoe Factory. So in those cases, what do you think are the benefits of going to these places? Especially for students learning. Ma'am Geraldine, are you there?
Hello po.
Hello, ma'am. Can you share with us what do you think are the benefits of going to Gardenia National Museum, Marikina Shoe Factory, Enchanted Kingdom?
Um, ano po yung question?
Yeah, what do you think are these places can give to?
I think it's an exposure po para mas maging ano ka po, mas maging aware ka po kung paano ginagawa yung mga bagay-bagay.
Okay, correct. That also gives you idea on what to expect, right? Especially if you like to work in that factory, workplace, or even national museum. So if you even have what the national museum, you also let me mute you first. Okay, maybe you've watched the film of Liza Soberano. What's the title? What's the title of Liza being a UPN and then being part of, you know, I think intern, right, in National Museum. So in that case, that will really what enlighten you about your what desire in the future, like what to yeah, Alone Together. Thank you, Mama Rusa. That's the film. Yeah, it shows the processing of everything making in the factory, ma'am. Okay, thank you, Ma'am Jelly. Yeah, so even you know what, as English majors, you are also advised or encouraged to attend or yeah, to attend plays, to see plays, stage plays. Have you experienced to be to see a stage play conducted by PETA? Have you been there? I've been there. Okay, that's great, Ma'am Jabel. So it's really important for us English majors, definite English majors, to see stage plays, not only virtually, because last time, right, we had this opportunity, right, to watch virtual live stage plays, also conducted by PETA. But in this case, it's a different feeling or experience to watch it live. Okay, so another yeah. Okay, I don't think we still have time. Okay, so we still have time for a breakout session. So for our breakout session, we have here task. You will describe how school and community officials work together in each of the following events through a brochure. So I will give you Canva links, shared links for you to edit. So you just need to select a template of the brochure. Okay, so you will think of, yeah, just like how you describe how school and community officials work together in, for example, social cultural activities, peace and order situation, and projects. You will you will design a brochure. You might ask me, ma'am, are we going to come up with our own ideas of events? You may also do that at the same time. You may simply consolidate and collect and gather all, for example, existing projects or upcoming events conducted by the school and community. So again, it can be your original or a consolidation of all events that are conducted or will be conducted by the school and community. Preferably DepEd projects. Okay, questions in the chat, or you may unmute if you have questions before I group you. So breakout session. I will divide you into three because you will right focus on social cultural activities, peace and order situation, and projects. Please unmute if you have questions and concerns. So we have nine, maximum of nine members per room. So we have 998. Okay, 998. Let me take screenshot. Okay. Can someone unmute if you have concerns before I create the room, before I open all rooms? Anyone? By the way, these are the links, so you may screenshot this link. I may also type in the chat so you can easily access the links. You may also scan the QR code for easy access to the Canva links. Those are blank templates, but you are already directed or redirected to the brochure. Okay, so let me copy the links in the chat. Please ask, okay, for clarification on what to do. Here are the links, okay. Anyone? Are you ready? Can you give me wow react if you're ready? Wow, okay. Sir Joshua is ready as always. Ma'am Steph. Okay, again you will describe how school and community officials work together in each of the following events. So describe how they work together by through a brochure, by designing a brochure. So it's better if those are existing existing events, right? Or initiatives of these events. Okay. So ready now? I will open all rooms now. How many minutes? Maybe I can give you 20 for at least the brainstorming. But for the finalization, right, it will be conducted during the asynchronous time because we don't have enough time. 20 minutes. Okay. I will open all rooms now. Catherine, in which room do you belong to? Number one. Okay, thank you. Hi, sir. May I ask which room do you belong to? Sir Abner? Hi, sir. You may unmute and tell me which
Sorry
room.
po.
Room number?
Room number 2 po.
Okay, thank you. Ma'am Serena, may I ask which room do you belong to so I can assign you there? Ma'am, you may unmute. Room 2. Okay, thank you. Welcome back, teacher. So I assume you've started at least the brainstorming. Can you hear me? Can you give me like or act if you?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. So, okay, do you have further questions or concerns? I will leave the Canva links open for you to edit, right, for the rest of the week so you can work together. If you have concerns, just send what your concerns to our Google Classroom or Messenger. Okay, so I think that will be all for today. You will present those next meeting. Please select again representatives, two representatives to present the design and content of your brochure. Okay, so please turn on your videos and let's have our screenshot. Thank you for joining me today. Bless your other classes and your days of the week. Smile in 30 seconds. One, two, three. Okay. Okay, that will be all. Thank you. God bless you all and see you next week.
Thank you,
Thank
ma'am.
you, ma'am. See
God
you
bless.
po.
Thank you,
Thank you,
ma'am.
Thank you,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
See you. See you.